Chairman of the committee to oppose to Poinciana Incorporation. Copy, and the residents that we represent respectfully request that you deny going forward with this feasibility study, as it is still flawed and does not meet all the statutory requirements. They still do not have a meets and bounds legal description. They refer to a document that's over 40 years old and say, there have been some changes over the last 40 years. They don't mention what the changes are. Then, after a lawsuit is threatened against them because they're taking some of Solavita's CDD, they say, okay, we'll take that out. We'll take out villages 4 and 6 and the wilderness preserve so we can meet density. What are the boundary lines? What about Walmart? What about the hospital? What about all the shopping in front of the Walmart? Is that included or not? There's too much ambiguity on whether or not what the boundaries are of the city. They talk about that. They agree that they're compact and contiguous because that's what the staff up at Tallahassee said. Well, there's an old saying, garbage in, garbage out. If you don't give all the information, somebody's not going to make the right decision. They base their compact on the fact that 42 and 43 that covers Poinciana is compact based on a referendum approved by the voters. The problem with that is they don't talk about Solavita, which is, yes, it's in District 41, but part of Solavita that's on the eastern side of Marigold is in 42. You're now creating an enclave, which is against statute. Plus, you're no longer compact. Now, contiguous, you have to go from Cypress Parkway down Marigold, from the city through Solavita, outside the city, back into the city, then through Solavita again, and then out just to get to the southern part of the city. That doesn't sound contiguous to me. They list the current services being provided, but they don't list all of the expenses. They'll list some, but they then just refer you to different websites of these other service providers. The services that they propose, they don't list what those services are going to cost. The evidence of fiscal capacity. Basically, they're saying in their 5-year plan that this is what the revenue is and this is what the expenses are. But they don't list half the expenses. They don't list property and casualty insurance for that 8,000 square feet, which is probably not enough square feet for a city hall. They don't list a lot of departments like accounts receivable, accounts payable, IT, purchasing, zoning. They're not listed there. They're not listing all the staff members that they're going to need to run the city. They don't have anything for workers' comp on there. They don't have anything for liability insurance. Now, they were talking about taking care of the right-of-ways within the villages. Okay, they're talking about the roads. There's no road and bridge department. What about the equipment that's going to be needed? What about the computers? What about the insurance for all of that? It's not there in the budget. They've not done a complete job in creating this budget. They haven't proved that it's feasible for Poinciana to become a city. Respectfully, I request and copy and the residents that I represent that you reject this feasibility study and don't give it any support. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Golmach.